Good morning, everyone. Today, our group will be talking about the topic of water pollution in Selangor, which is a subtopic of a negative production externality analysis. This is our team, and this is the news article source which came from the Star. It's talking about the water pollution incident at Sungai Kapar Kecil caused by a plastic recycling factory. Next, I will start with my introduction and context. Economically, this is a classic case of a negative production externality which results in market failure. The factory's low production cost means they overproduce and the third party need to pay for it. Today, we will use economics diagrams to show how this external cost creates an efficiency loss in economy. We will also propose specific government interventions. Let's start with the analysis today.
After the brief introduction, we will look at this case study in a more economical angle, starting with the economical theory that underlies in this case study, which is the economical theory of externalities, which states that the scenario will occur according to the actions of producer or consumers that will affect a third party positively or negatively despite not involved in this transaction. In this case study, the producer will be the factory, the consumer will be the customer of goods factory produced, the third party will be the public that are affected by the polluted water source, and the negative externalities will be the polluted water source. Now, this diagram highlights the entire case study, starting with the marginal social cost higher than the marginal private cost because of the public being needed to bear the cost of the negative externalities such as cleaning fee and health risk, while the private sector does not need to carry any of the costs caused by the externalities. We can also see that the equilibrium output Q1 is much further than the optimal output, which indicates that overproduction causes the negative externality. If the private sector will decrease its activity to Q2, the negative externality can be stopped. Thank you.
Now, let's look at who will be affected by these negative externalities and how. The first must be the public household, which is the main victims. They mainly rely on the polluted river water for daily use, and this exposes them to face health risks such as skin issues and waterborne illnesses. And this forces them to bear higher financial costs to buy clean water or pay for cleaning fees. Next, business and local economy are also get affected by these negative externalities. The water treatment plant will shut down when the pollutants have exceeded the safe level, and this causes those restaurants, manufacturers, and factories must shut down too, and this leads them to experience an income loss. And thirdly, the water treatment plants and government are also get affected. They have to face a higher burden and pay more costs to clean up the river, even though they are not the one who caused the pollution. And next, environment and the river ecosystems. The aquatic life in the river are harmed by chemical discharge, which is the pollutants, and this will weaken the long-term health of the river. And last but not least, which is the polluters themselves, which is the factories. They are benefiting from avoiding those treatment costs, so they have to pay a lower marginal private cost, while the society have to bear a higher marginal social cost. And this imbalance is the main core of causing the negative externalities. And now I will pass it to the next person.
Realistic government policy approach that used to manage water pollution in Malaysia is Environmental Quality Acts and Polluter Pay Principle. Realistic government policy approach that used to manage water pollution in Malaysia is Environmental Quality Acts and Polluter Pay Principle. Environmental Quality Act is the main environmental law to control pollutions, set wastewater standards, and take actions against factories or individuals who pollute the water. Its main try is to give the government legal power to conduct inspection, issue fines, and even shut down the operation when they face a very serious situation. It also provides a structural system to manage industrial water. However, the enforcement is sometimes inconsistent due to limited manpower and fines are often too low, which means that the company will continue polluting because it is cheaper than upgrading their treatment system. Equally and mostly reactive, which means that in response after the pollution is made without preventing it earlier. Secondly, polluter pay principle is a principle who requires polluter to pay for the cleanup costs and the damages they cause. Its strength is to create a financial incentive for businesses to reduce the waste and adopt a cleaner practice. Its limitation is because of the penalty in Malaysia are sometimes not high enough to change the behavior, and some firms treat the fines as a normal business expenses while operations. It also relies heavily on strong monitoring to identify illegal discharges. Both policies are effective in theory, but in Malaysia, we need higher penalties, stricter enforcement, and better monitor to truly make the policy effective enough to protect our Klang River.
Now I will explain the reflection and conclusion. This project examines water pollution in Selangor using the economic concept of negative externalities. We found that polluters often shift the true social cost of their actions onto the public, causing significant welfare loss. Moreover, issue why government intervention is necessary to address this market failure. During this project, our team also faced challenges in combining policy approaches and in simplifying complex economic terms. Overall, our key findings is that pollution persists because external causes are not accounted for. To improve river quality, Malaysia should strengthen enforcement of environment laws, adopt intelligent monitoring systems, and ensure polluters pay for the damage they cause.